Fellowship of Games. This is Alan.
This is Dawn.
This is John.
And today we're doing a review of a game we really liked that we played at BGG Con in the developer's room called Kings of the Road.
Kings of the Road is being developed currently by Jamboree Games, and we had the opportunity to play test it, and it was a group of 6. So I don't know what the minimum is going to be, but you can definitely play it with up to 6 players in its current version. So what did you think, John?
I actually didn't get to play the game because we did the game Prison Break before that, and they invited us, and there were only 2 seats left. But it was actually good because I could watch them, and I wasn't wrapped up in trying to play the game, and because they were looking for feedback on ways to improve it, and so I thought a lot of ideas, and we talked about it on the way back home driving, come up with ideas.
But we came with another idea and sent them an email.
So hopefully they'll like it. If not, it's fine.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I was going to say, Alan, why don't you describe the gameplay?
So everybody, you had your game board was phenomenal. It's kind of set. It's like a 70s kind of 80s. Your game board was a tractor trailer rig. You had the tractor trailer here, and then you had the tractor here and the trailer here. And there are all these spots on it. And 3 spots represented your loads, and you had a spot that represented your finished loads and your expenses. And for each spot, you had a little tiny semi-truck. It was awesome. It was a
Matchbox
kid's dream.
Car kind of.
Yeah, a little smaller than that.
Truck.
Yeah, color-coded truck. And all the boards were different. And then you had a map of the United States that was kind of gridded out. And so basically, everybody had a hometown. We drew a card. The card we drew and the place where you picked it up, that was your home spot.
First one, yep.
And so you put your truck there and you'd make your delivery. And once you made a delivery, there was 7 cards out there, and you'd pick one from the 7. That was your next load. You'd pick it up. And so if you were kind of lucky, it'd be like Dawn, I think, had one where it was the exact same city where she was at. So she's all just pick that up because she automatically got to load it up there.
Yeah.
And then they replaced it, so everybody was always choosing from 7 different ones. And as when you delivered 3 loads, you'd unlock your second truck. So when you delivered 6 loads, you unlocked your 3rd truck. And it was first to 9 loads won the game. So you would roll 2 dice.
Yep.
And that told you how much movement you had. If you rolled blanks, your truck broke down and you had to draw an expense report. But you got a fuel credit. And that's interesting because when we played it, they were like, you get a fuel credit whenever your truck breaks down. And you got a fuel credit if you just sat still and didn't move.
If you didn't roll movement.
You would roll movement, you could decide not to move. Or
Yeah.
Because sometimes it just wouldn't add up. So you got 1 fuel credit. And they were like, we thought of this last night because they played it the night before. And then one of the guys we're playing with, he goes, yeah, you should get 1 if you don't move, and you should get 2 if you roll blanks. And he's like, that's an idea. Let's play it that way. So at the very beginning of the game, they took feedback and changed the way we played for the rest of the game.
Just to see how it would beta test out.
Yeah, but the fuel credits gave you an extra pip. So, if you kind of had bad things happen later on, you could power across. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And you couldn't have 3 semis at a truck stop.
Yeah. Well, you could. You could have 3 semis.
Okay.
You could
got penalized.
You could have
for
the first 2 that were there were fine. Everyone after that, you had to take. It was a convoy, and you had to get an expense report as a penalty for. So, like, you were 2 over at this place, you might stop at this truck stop instead and wait for one of them to leave and then move over. So, yeah, because in the 70s, apparently, none of us knew that.
Yeah.
If you had 3 rigs in a row, it was a convoy, and you could get in trouble with smoky count. The police could give you a ticket for that. We're like, we had no idea that was even a thing.
I was just gonna say, and I like the theme of it because it was kind of Americana.
Yeah.
He had the main towns that did a lot of shipping. It wasn't at first. I thought, are those the state capitals? But they weren't. They were areas that do a lot of shipping. So in each area, and it didn't have state grids. It had just cities located across the map, and so that was a high convoy area. And then the little truck stops you stopped at had the star, like it reminded me of the old Texaco stations, but very much had an Americana flair.
The thing I thought was cool was the gentleman who designed it, his dad was a truck driver, so that was his inspiration. And his dad's picture was in the book. I just thought that was cool. But that goes along those, it was set during that from his experiences with his dad growing up. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually what it was set in, but that's kind of the feel I got. It reminded me a lot of the Smokey and the Bandit, like early 80s, late 70s, the trucker
movies.
BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the
BJ
Bear.
and the Bear, Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Convoy.
There was one called Convoy,
Yeah, there was a real neat mechanic in the events also. I forgot to mention this.
Yes.
It was really neat how they thought of it. So after everybody gone around the board, rolled for your trucks and got your movement, you flipped over an event card. And events were thought out really well. You'd have snow on the Rockies, so they had these little roadblocks. They would put here and here in the Rockies. So if you were in the Rockies, you'd pick up an expense card, meaning that's what you had to pay to get your truck out of the snow.
Yeah.
There was trouble on I-30, and so where I-30 is, they would block off certain cities because, the cops were out or something was going on I-30. So you'd either block off a grid or a city, and if you were in either one of those, even when they rolled the dice, you could just be kind of unfortunate. You'd pick an expense report. So, and that was a really neat representation of, Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Everything that can go wrong, like say a dart bus slams into your semi. For those who've watched our Gen Con review,
Or BG, it
Or
happened.
BGG Con review, yes, apologize.
No, it's okay. Day 4.
Day 4, yeah.
But totally, it was very randomizing, and that did make it fun though, because it was equal, it was equitable, because you didn't know where somebody would be on the board, so we all got hit at some point by one of those, or you'd have to go around it because it was gridded. It was in
make your
cubes of
voids
4.
longer. That was one of the things I suggested.
There were 3 rows of 4 sections, and each section had a little quadrant. It's the way your map lined out. And there's like a city or a truck stop in each one.
Yeah. One of the things I suggested was if you got your load across under a certain amount of time, like whatever the average roll of the dice was, if you get there before that, your truck can maybe get a power up or something. So that was one of the things I suggested. But I don't know what all they're going to do. There was a lot of suggestions for this game.
Their idea behind it was we want a game that a 10-year-old can play and enjoy, like group 10-year-olds.
Or 8 and up. He said 8 and up. A family game.
A family game. He said then, like they could enjoy later. And then that set everybody off. Because we all talked about ways to make the game heavy Euro, where you're plotting and kind of stuff.
Heavier,
Yeah. And we were all excited. And I think they were excited, thinking maybe do like a basic rule set for the young kids.
Set.
Then, as he said, then the kids go to bed. So then you get this advanced rule set.
Yeah, they talked about flipping the board, having the kid board on this side, flipping the board, and having the advanced rules, making it random where your truck stops were. Because the way they had it designed, which was kind of clever, was there were a lot of truck stops in the Rockies, and they said that represents your truck trying to pull its weight up the Rocky Mountains, which is really hard, and there weren't so many down here in the valleys and the lowlands.
Yeah.
And so, and then there was like some in Florida representing the toll roads, so that was clever.
The one guy, Portofino, the guy that we played with, actually is in the trucking industry.
Yeah.
And so he had 15 years experience in driving trucks in Mexico.
Excuse me.
And so he had a lot of like realistic, like he had the idea, which I thought was interesting, don't just add the penalties. What if you also gave the ability to upgrade your truck?
Yeah.
And have an upgrade, and maybe you want to spend money to upgrade your truck. So we had good, and that would probably fall into the advanced rules.
Yeah, there were a lot of techniques, like having all your trucks at once and having a race to 9, or starting with one truck for 3 games and having a campaign kind of value to it.
Yeah. Or everybody,
And then they got cut though. They're like, well, what if we like hold contracts off? Like, you can't take this contract.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, this happens all the time in trucking.
Yeah.
They really got into some minutia. It was funny.
And our ideas were add police to it. To drive them around smoking the Bandit or whatever.
Have a police die or something. Or everybody have a police car along with their truck, and the police car, you can mess with your opponents.
Yeah. Kind of like the Prison Break game.
Yeah.
Their beta testing had a guard that walked around, had
Prison
a police
Break
that walked.
48,
But they kind of did have that with the randomizer, with the event deck. Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah.
I like with their other game. You should look for our review of Prison Break 48.
Yeah.
I told them, I would play this game as you have it.
Yeah.
The only gripe is I would like for them to upgrade the board a little bit more. It was very generic.
It was they just took a topographical map.
They just printed out on a printer, so I'm sure if they, did some.
The final.
what was the name of the organization? Panda Games, Pandasaurus.
Yeah, they're in a final.
Chinese. They're in some sort of con. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just they were in the finals for a production to win a grant to, I guess, or a competition.
$25,000
to produce it. Yeah.
Reward to help get the game.
Is it Pandasaurus?
produced.
Was that it?
Panda Production.
Panda Productions.
Japanese manufacturer, Chinese.
Yeah, but that's exciting for them.
They should
if
make
win
a
it.
reality show of like get your board game made.
Yeah, for real. There's a lot to it. That we learned a lot about that. They described to us a little bit about the process
we got
and
to
beta
talk
testing.
To a lot of board game makers, so we got a lot of info on that.
But I found the beta testing to be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
And they were very respectful, and so we would play the game for several hours, and then they would call time, and then they would do a round robin around the table and ask all of us, what would you change on it? And then after everybody gave an opinion and suggestions, and they also encouraged it during gameplay, and then after we were done, like some people would stay after and give them additional suggestions, and they were taking notes. They had a notebook, they had a phone, they would shoot video just to try to capture all the ideas.
Yeah, Richard would, whenever someone said something, Richard would record what they were saying.
And I kind of give my review. I really would like to play this game. I sat out and watched it, but I really think the base game would be. I'm comparing it a lot to Flashpoint. That's what I told them. I was like, you need to check out Operation Flashpoint because it's got like 4 pages of the beginner's rules. Then it's got 30 pages of the advanced firefighting simulator. I said, with this game, you could have the base game you play the kids and enjoy, but then the hardcore gamers, plan out stuff. We talked about half loads and double loads.
Ramp it up.
I think if they make it like that, this is my personal opinion, I think they would have a killer game. I would. It'd be like one of those people would be like, I don't play a trucker game. Then they play like, this is a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the way board games are nowadays, they have all kinds of theming. It turns out to be incredible.
Yeah.
I like the look of it though. I like the artwork and the concept and the long haul. What was I said the name wrong. Not long haul. King
of the Roads.
Kings of the Road.
Kings of the Road. I'm terrible about saying the names wrong. Sorry. Kings of the Road. I liked the art, like his concept art on the box, and like I said, the Americana feel. That actually appealed to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he does make it, just another suggestion I have is he should have made cab over engine trucks that were really popular in the 70s. Just saying.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
One of the things I mentioned and I hope they implement was I was talking about, somebody mentioned kind of similarities to Ticket to Ride. It's very different from that, but you're trying to get across the country in Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
And I was like, that'd be interesting if you like in your future expansions you could do just an Arkansas edition or we're from Arkansas, California edition.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you mean like the Arkansas Lopoly like Op Games does? It's like, yes, I think you might be able to have something there. It's a little niche, but maybe.
Yeah.
One thing we were talking about, because it's basically a little toy truck, that they had made for that, or molded. And we were, I think, however, they were wanting so you could put your cubes in the truck and deliver the cubes.
Yeah.
And then so we said, but if you had magnets, the guy's like, we priced that, but it's pre-priced. We're like, but it'd be so awesome just to click your trailer onto the back of your truck.
your truck up, and then the trailer go click. And I was like, that would be so satisfying.
Maybe they will, maybe I don't know.
Probably not going to happen.
Yeah, but it was really cool.
Yeah,
3D print your own if you get a copy.
Yeah,
there you go.
But no, it was really interesting. We talked about it all the way back to Arkansas.
We did.
We're just like, what can we do? And I came up with the Smoking the Bandit idea. Of course, that's copyright, but you could have police, and I emailed them, so I thought maybe you never know.
You never know.
But yeah, it was funny. They were like, "Well, in an 8-year-old game, we made this complex."
Yes,
they had all these people that play medium to heavy Euro games, and we're like, we kept trying to add complexity. They said, "Now, don't forget, we want a family game."
Richard was like, "We're trying to make it cheaper, guys.
Sit down and play it with your kids." And
we're worried about expense, not cheap, and make it less expensive,
less production, which
production cost and family. So that's when we came up with the idea for a dual-sided board or advanced rules. So yeah.
But no, it was a good game as is.
It is.
But if they make that advanced rules, it'd be awesome.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie.
So.
Okay.
Anything else to add, guys?
John? I think that covers it.
All right, we enjoyed it, as you can tell. Be sure and follow if you can. They have a QR code out there that you can find with Jamboree Games. So like and subscribe, and join us at fellowshipofgames.com.